Hello, everyone. My next article is called Debasement of the Left: Academic, Intellectual, and Moral Decay. I'm going to break it up into 4 parts. The first part is called Cultural and Intellectual Charlatans Exposed. In 2017-2018, 3 scholars, James Lindsay, Helen Pluckrose, and Peter Boghossian, wrote 20 fake papers using academic jargon to argue for ridiculous conclusions to bogus concepts. You may have heard of it. They submitted them to high-profile journals in fields including gender studies, queer studies, and fat studies. 7 of their articles were accepted for publication by supposedly serious peer-reviewed journals. The academic creme de la creme? Oops. The articles were accepted because they were written in the language the journals expected and reached conclusions the journals wanted to agree with. Since the academic fields were bogus, and the people in those fields intellectual charlatans, the journals couldn't see past their own prejudices to recognize true bogosity when they saw it. They easily fell into the trap and exposed their woke BS. The articles were written to call out intellectual dishonesty infecting the academic world today. The reaction was swift and nasty from people who couldn't face getting caught in their own lies and hypocrisies. The gender studies people who deny biology, the queer studies people who try to claim queer as normal, the fat studies people who pretend that fat is healthy. These people are deluding themselves, and they're trying really hard to delude you. If they can delude you, it will validate their lies. These intellectual charlatans have been amazingly successful to date. What's that saying? You can fool all the people some of the time? Well, it looks like time's up. These so-called scholars in the academic industry are not scholars, but shills for the cause. They are being exposed, and they don't like it. Here's an example of the word salad approach to so-called rigorous academic research that is really just nonsensical statements of nothingness. I love the title of this one. It's called Rubbing One Out: Defining Metasexual Violence of Objectification through Non-Consensual Masturbation. The article says, by drawing upon empirical studies of psychological harms of objectification, especially through depersonalization, and exploring several veins of theoretical literature on non-physical forms of sexual violence, this article seeks to situate non-consensual male autoerotic fantasizing about women as a form of metasexual violence that depersonalizes her, injures her being on an affective level, contributes to consequent harms of objectification and rape culture, and can appropriate her identity for the purpose of male sexual gratification. Don't understand that? It's okay. They don't either. It's just a jumble of words. They fake their understanding, gushing with praise over the insightful brilliance. Then they bluster red-faced when they're caught in their lie. They are truly embarrassed and insulted that you would engage in such a disgraceful hoax. How dare you expose our sham academic discipline? It was working so well. I'll come back to this with part 2.